welcome to the medium Rachel Vanik show on A1 Air Psychic Radio. A1 Air? A1R Psychic Radio, Moonstrike TV. Where am I at today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. It's so nice to be out here talking to you again. As we were connecting, I had a weather statement pop up for my areas. I don't know what that is yet, but I do notice it's starting to rain. So I guess we'll find out if my phone says is actually water resistant, like it says. Oh, fumbling my words. I tried to come prepared today. I actually have this whole list. Anywho, I'm outside. It's cold. It's rainy. It could be colder. It could be snowy, but it's so nice. You hear those geese? They're so fun to hear. I love it out here. It's like every day there's a new bird. I swear it. Okay. Wow, it's been a wild week. So let's start with, I want to answer some questions. I'm going to answer one question, which I did answer, but I thought it would be good to bring to the table here. Is what, this isn't even on my list of things to say. Look at this, guys, I'm trying here, right? I just like having a conversation with people. So, good question was, what does it mean when you receive a scent that reminds you of a loved one? And I give them the best response that I could, right? It's different one for everybody. Let's start there. A lot of times what I've noticed and what I've experienced is it is just a loved one coming by to say, hey, I'm around. I love you. We're connected. Here's a scent, a little reminder. It's just a reminder that they're still around. Because once you cross over, they're still connected to us no matter what, right? Through love. So another experience is that if you are, let's say you have a question for a loved one and you are contemplating a life change, a decision, and you're not necessarily looking for the answer to that, more of a validation. Hey, let's say I would have reached out to a specific loved one asking at this time, and, would they agree with my decision? So that could be them being like, hey, yeah, you're on the right track. I do agree. And of course they send their love. Oh my gosh. I'm like, how old am I now? Okay. When I was a teenager, I was 16. I was laying on my parents' couch, right, in the house. And I was just sicker than a dog. It was, sinus infection, and it was the whole gambit. I can't hear, can't smell, and I'm just miserable. And I'm like, what do I do? I'm just laying there. I'm like, I wish that I knew of something to make me feel better. Help, somebody help, whatever medications the doctor gave me ain't curing up my nostrils right now because I can't breathe. And then I smelled a tea. Now, I didn't know teas at the time. I drank iced tea. Your regular old plain iced tea, Lipton cold mix. Heard of green tea, but I didn't drink it. I just drank cold iced tea. But I smelled hot tea. I smelled it, and it cleared up my sinuses. And the next day, I was grateful. I'm like, I don't know what that was or where that came from, or I don't even know what that means, but I feel better. So thanks, whatever that was. So I asked my mom, the next morning, did you make tea last night? Did I not see you when you got up? Do you drink tea? Did you do that? No. And then, okay, well, here's what I experienced last night, and it made me feel better. And here's the feelings I had associated with it. It felt as though it was a female warming figure, that obviously drink a bunch of tea. Anyway, my mom was able to fill in the blanks for me. And she's like, no, actually your great grandmother did the teas. She drank the teas, very interested in home remedies. And now that I'm thinking about it, could have had my mom come on here to maybe she could share a little bit more insight about that experience. Remember what that was. Um, so that's what it was. It was an old grandparent coming by to help heal me in that moment that I really wanted to breathe, and that was nice. Now I know what teas are and what they smell like. Not all of them, but I'm still working and learning on that because there's a lot of health benefits to teas, right? Um, I'm just checking the time here. Like, it hasn't started raining yet. I don't know what the weather statement was. I'll find out, right? So I had shared online earlier in the week when the new moon came that there was healing coming about, and it had started a little bit the day before and be carrying out for about 3 months, 90 days roughly, right? Um, and I found that to be true. For myself, this is just my experience. And again, on here, I can only speak from my experiences and just share them with everybody, right? We're all in this together. We're all still learning, growing, all that good jazz. I find communication is key. So that day of healing for the next few months is I had just started a lot of, like health things around here. Like that was something that was a kickoff start. Health, getting back out around people, um, and just being a part of things. I'm not sure how to explain that feeling. Anywho, so hope y'all know what I'm saying. Listen to what I mean, not what I say, right? Old friend had said that to me one time. I'm like, thank you for understanding. Because everything is energy, right? Everybody's energy. So the individual that had offended me, do we call them the offender? I don't want to call them my offender, right? I don't want to say I'm a victim. I want to use different terms. I want to recreate the narrative. So, anywho, the individual who, throughout my teen years, that sexually, emotionally, physically, blah blah blah, assaulted, recently that day came up for parole. They were granted parole, and I experienced feelings that I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know they were there, and I didn't know what they were. I still don't know what word you would put with those feelings. Um, so I was trying to process whatever that feeling was. I thought I had more time to process my feelings. Sorry, I dropped my notes that I'm clearly looking at. So I didn't have time to process those feelings. Not that obviously I hadn't intended to. I just thought I had more time in general. Anywho, the feelings came about. Trying to make a long story short here, and I didn't realize what an impact it had made on my day-to-day life. So with energy, I was I was filled with anger, and I didn't really realize that. Like I knew some things would set me off. So I like to put it. I know it's all over the page here. Um, an individual and I, a close family member, we had one time spoke about Pandora's box. They had experienced the trauma themselves. So they described how they handled that was they put all those thoughts and memories in Pandora's box is the term they used. And they'd set it on the shelf. Every now and then they'd get it out, open it, glance, close it, put it back. I used the jar method. I put them in a jar, the thoughts and all that jazz in a jar, like old mason jar, because, I'm country, I guess. Seal it up, put it on the shelf. Anywho, so this day that this comes around, uh, that box, jar, everybody, y'all have your own terms. It opened up, and I lashed out. I lashed out to the individuals that I had been holding anger against without even really realizing that that was there. I lashed out. Like I lost my shit, guys, because I hadn't dealt with anything. I don't know. I don't mean to cuss on here. I'm gonna get booted. Anywho, so then I realized, Rachel, that's not you. What are you doing? All right, turn your phone off, set it aside, feel, think about it. So morning comes around, I'm still just laying in bed, and I kept that box and that jar open and communicated with those individuals that I lashed out at that I didn't realize I had so much anger towards at the time. I didn't realize that. We both communicated and put together our missing memories. Them themselves were going through their own trauma at the time. I was going through trauma. They didn't realize why I was still angry with them at times. And I didn't know that they didn't remember because your brain, like, sometimes does that to try to help people out. I left that box open and we communicated, and there was healing on all sides for everybody. And I saw that anger leave. I saw this like dark energy just head on out. And so, hey y'all, healing's a journey. Leave that box open and rifle through that if you can. These are catapults coming on now. Have a great week. Love y'all.